Okay.
Hi, guys. Eric Pathy here at PickDogs.com for your overnight report. We ended the week basically plus 30 units, counting the Lakers as a push. One of the things I was talking to Brett, the bookkeeper, about yesterday, Al, was he basically said if these guys hyper focus on 1.5 point loss, because he did lose on the game, lines do move, they would cost themselves so much money that it wouldn't be worth the win or push that they would have had on the Lakers. So guys that are long-term clients like Brett, many others, if you lost on the Lakers, so be it. Better to lose at 110 than push at 130 or 140. What do you say about that?
Well, it's not pushing. It's pushing every single bet you make at 120 or
Right.
whatever. Like it's laying 120 on every single bet. I mean, we this is the best way to illustrate. Like you like to say, people who hype, they remember the one game that lands on or
Oh
around the
boy.
number.
I mean, Al, you were on a plane flying back. My phone was exploding. I didn't even know the
So
score. They're like, "Can you believe that?" I'm like,
so we've had this basketball season 926 plays.
"Okay, I'm writing this
Out of
down."
those 926 plays, take a guess how many have pushed. This is basketball season.
Man, that's. I don't want to be too outrageous. I'm
Be
gonna
as outrageous as you want to
all right,
be.
be as outrageous as I want.
Out of 926, how many have pushed exactly on the number?
On the closing number,
Yep.
I'm going to actually be underrageous. I'm going to say 30.
3.
Whoa!
I'm trying to illustrate. I say all the time, games
Now, how
rarely
many? How
fall
many?
on the number. I
How
can't
many?
tell you right now how many landed within a half point either way because I don't
That's
have
what I was
that
going to
data.
ask you. Right, right, right.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna ask you.
But if 3 landed on the number, you can extrapolate and figure it's just a handful of games that landed within a half point on one side and another handful of games that landed within a half point
I
on
mean,
the other
that's
side.
crazy because I was thinking at least 30.
Well, of course, any game that's on the half point can't push, right? So out of the
Right.
926, if you've got, for example, let's just say half the games are closed on the half number and half the games closed on the whole number. So automatically half the games can't. But that
Right.
still leaves 470 games or 460 games where 3 of those 460 landed on the whole number.
Yeah, that's a lot of games to buy juice on.
Right. I mean, well, yeah, 926 games. I mean, it's just
Oh
anyway.
man.
I'm just illustrating the point. I mean, and if I could go on the football season, let me see what
Sure.
what it was for the football season this year. We had 311 plays in football, and it's a much higher percentage in the football. We had 311 plays
Let
of
me
the
guess
three.
though. Don't tell me. Let me
Okay.
guess. So
Okay.
311. I'm gonna say 15.
No, 4. 4 out of the 311 landed on the number in football.
That's unbelievable.
Well, it's not unbelievable, but it's again,
No, no.
people
What I'm
will.
saying is, it's unbelievable that the amount of conversations that I have from September 1st to the first week of January about half points and it affecting the game, and you're basically saying to me it's just that they hyper focus on the game because it's just not true. If it's only 4, it's only 4.
Yeah, out of our games, and now of course we're not hitting 50%, we're hitting 57%. So I mean, our games are of course landing further away from the number because we're doing better than the average Joe. But the point still remains the same. Like
So let me
most
ask you
games,
something. If you were to, and you don't have to do it for the sake of this video, but would you assume the numbers are the same if you were just looking at the results of every game, every NFL game, every basketball game?
the easiest way for me to say it is don't buy half points.
I got it. Okay, okay, I got it.
I mean, I.
I got it. Well, with that being said, guys, we're still here. I had a client. No, not calling any shade to this client. He didn't even realize. He was like, "Isn't basketball almost over?" I'm like, "No, basketball. We got plenty of basketball left. It's here. We're playing it. We're rocking and rolling. You hit a 10-unit play last week. You hit 2 7-unit plays. So again, jump on board, guys. I know the volume will get a little bit less, but then we have CFL, we have UFL.
So, so yeah, I'm going to interrupt you just to finish this other point.
Go ahead.
There have been uh, this database might be counting the games that are still going on tonight. There's 1,269 games. It may or may not be counting the Cleveland, Miami, and Houston Golden States tonight. I don't want to figure that out. Of those 1,269, this does tell me how many games pushed and how many games landed within a half point.
All right, let me guess.
Okay, so this is out of 1,269 games in the NBA. This is NBA only. 1,269 games. How many pushes and how many games landed within a half point?
Okay, I'm going to say 12 games within a half point, and I'm going to say 7 games pushed.
There were 19 pushes.
Okay.
Out of 1,269.
Wow, okay.
And
I said 12 games within a half point. Let's see how.
Oh, hold on. Let me just, and now I'm just going to pull this up because my database does tell me how many games land within a half point. Hold on. So it'll be more than 19, because if there's 19 pushes, obviously,
right.
It'll be substantially more than 19. But we're going to just see how many of the 1,269. It was 46 landed within a half point on either way. So 46 plus 19 is 65.
So you're saying
65 games out of 1,269 either pushed or landed within a half point.
What percentage is that? That's like that's what, like 4%, 3%?
Yeah, I mean that's what let's see. Yeah, so did I say six? How many did I say? 65.
1269, 65. 65 divided by 1269
equals 5.1%.
Okay, 5.1. But
landed within a half point either way.
The moral of the story is you would have had to buy the half point on all those other games that it didn't matter to get 46 pushes.
But here's the other thing, what people have to remember. Out of those 23 games that landed, or out of the 46 games that landed within a half point, you can assume that 23 of the 46 you're going to win anyway. You won it by a half point. You didn't lose it by a half point.
Right, got it.
So all that is important to you is the 23 you lost by the half point as opposed to win by the half point, plus the 19 that pushed. So that's 42 games where you may have benefited by buying a half point, not 65. So when you go 42 divided by 1269, now you're at 3.3%, which is the number we often bandy about. You're going to be helped whatever 3.3% of the time. It's not worth it.
Yeah, exactly. Because even you showed me here was 5%. So good math, good numbers. That's why you are the database man featured in the ESPN. With that being said, if you guys want to pick up the All Access, I had a couple new All Access members join this weekend, and they all had the same commonality. Al, they were premium members here at Pick Dogs. Either they were monthly members. One of the gentlemen, you're watching the video, sir, is an annual member. So he bought the whole year, but he realized, looking at how I'm overlaying straight bets versus the units, it's quite a bit different. Profitable versus having games rated, plus the late updates that aren't available on Telegram, plus the fact that you can ask Al any individual questions you have via me, and then I flip the question to Al. He'll come back to you. Obviously, this time of year, we're not getting a lot of questions, but we do get quite a few questions during regular season because obviously we're in the thick of it. Clients are going to games that they're attending. They want to put money on for fun. Clients are fans of particular teams, like you're a fan of the Spurs. They want to know, or it's their alma mater and they're going with their buddies back to college. And so we've had all kinds of those questions during the regular season, which obviously you're not going to get if you're a premium subscriber. With that being said, Al, what do we got going? We didn't talk about it. Usually I know ahead of time, but I don't know ahead of time the complimentary selection.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go back to territory that we've mined earlier this playoff season, and that is to go against a losing team. Losing teams suck in the NBA playoffs. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. When a team has a record below 500, I largely avoid them. Don't play on them.
You mean like right now at the time of this recording, the Cavaliers are winning 135-76.
Right, exactly. Right. Like I've avoided the Miami Heat like the plague this entire, because they were one of two losing teams. Now, the Orlando Magic started the playoffs as a winning team at 42-41 because they won the play-in game, but they've played themselves into the position of a losing team because right now they're one game below 500, and at a certain point earlier in this playoffs, they were also one game below 500. Losing teams are 81-113 ATS going back to 1990. They suck. Avoid them. We're going to I know it's technical. Orlando's only one game below 500, but they're still a losing team, right? They're not as bad as the Miami Heat, but whatever.
So I'm assuming we're laying the 11.
We're laying the 11. You may see some 11.5s, but we're going to take the Boston.
Look how sharp I am. I knew the selection.
Yeah.
Oh my, that's fun. What was the game the other day that I think everybody was texting me about? That you weren't on the game. It was the Bucks game, because you earlier in the week you had a 7 unit on the Bucks, which won.
I laid off. Yeah, I laid off.
You laid off, but you laid off. But a lot of these guys, because you had a 7 unit on the Bucks, figured the Bucks isn't a bad bet. Where I didn't tell them to do that. Then they go and they bet the Bucks, and then the Pacers blow them out.
Yeah.
Don't infer because Al had a play on one game that just if he lays off.
Well, I go back and forth. I mean, I had who did I have? I had my mind is mush right now. But I go back and forth between teams and games.
You're not married to any team. I got it. Yeah, so guys, reach out to me. Hope you learned something about not buying half of points. Lay the 11 with Boston against the under 500 Magic. And as always, good day and good luck.